everyone, it's Ashley, and today I'm bringing you a recently read and currently reading video. It's been a really long time since I've filmed one of these. I think the last one I did was actually an audiobooks edition of recently read and currently reading. I will leave it linked down below for you guys. It's pretty old, but I'll leave it linked down below in case you want to check that out. I'm a really big audiobook person, so there will be another recently read and currently reading audiobooks edition coming your way very soon, so look forward to that. But for now, I'm just going to talk about the physical novels that I've read recently and the one that I am currently reading right now, so let's get started. Okay, so first and foremost, I am going to talk about Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. This is the sequel to Name of the Wind. I did a spoilery and a non-spoilery review video for Name of the Wind a really long time ago, like 3 years ago, I think, or 2 years ago, something like that. They're not the greatest, but I'll leave them linked down below for you guys if you want to check them out, because I did film those videos right after I finished Name of the Wind, so my feelings are very pure in both of those videos. But in case you didn't know, I loved Name of the Wind. It's probably my favorite book of all time. Highly recommend if you haven't read it. This is the sequel, so I'm not going to talk too much about the plot of this. Just so you know, Name of the Wind follows a middle-aged man who's running an inn, and then you find out that he's actually kind of a really big name in the world, and he's kind of really special, and the rest of the story is him telling his story of him growing up and how he became who he became and why he is now just running an inn. That doesn't sound crazy interesting, I guess, in context of someone who's never read the book, but it has tons of magic and intrigue and mystery and murder, and it's just so fantastically written. The characters are so well done, and I love Quoth so much, and I just highly recommend reading the book if you haven't yet. That wasn't a great description. I get really carried away with books that I really like, so again, non-spoilery and spoilery reviews linked down there. As for Wise Man's Fear, some of you may or may not know this, but I wanted to take my time reading this book, so I started it right after I finished Name of the Wind, which was like I said, almost 3 years ago, and I was telling myself that I only wanted to read a chapter every month, or 2 chapters every month, and I wanted to try to make the book last as long as I could, because the 3rd book isn't out yet, and I really wanted to stay in this world as long as humanly possible. So that lasted for a long time, obviously, but last month I picked it back up with about 300 pages left in this honkin' 1,000 page giant fantasy, and I read all 300 pages in 2 days, and I basically didn't sleep, but it was so worth it. There is one part in this book that was really hard to get through. I didn't love it. Anyone who's read the book, I'm sure, knows exactly what I'm talking about, because I've looked online and the consensus is pretty clear that most people didn't like that part and found it kind of hard to get through. But it's so well written and it's so intricate, and I have so many theories. If you have read both of these books and you want to talk theories, DM me on any social media platform. I will talk to you about them endlessly, forever. I love them so much. This was a 5 out of 5 star read for me. Actually, it might have been 4.5 stars out of 5 because of that one part. But ultimately, enjoyment level, pretty 5 out of 5. The writing is so good, the characters are so good, the world building is so good. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for Doors of Stone. I'm so excited. Also, for those of you who want to know, the green ones are plot points that I think will be really important in the future, because I really love to theorize in fantasy novels. And the blue ones are quotes that I really liked. Next, I read A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline Long. I have a review video for this posted. I will leave it linked down below. This was the February You Choose pick. I'm not going to keep describing You Choose in every single video that I post. I will leave the You Choose videos linked down below for you guys. I'll probably just create a playlist at this point and I'll link that down below for you guys. But basically, you guys voted and wanted me to read this in February, so I did, and then I filmed a review video and I posted that review video, and I will leave it linked down below. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be. I kind of wanted more adventure. It just didn't fulfill what I wanted. I think that if I went into it with less expectations, I would have probably liked it more. But I did really like the writing, and I loved the main character, Meg. I feel like I should have read this as a kid, because I was Meg as a kid. I was intelligent, but I was super sassy and super salty, and I had no problem being opinionated with adults, and adults hated me for it, and I always felt like I didn't really belong, kind of like Meg did. And I feel like Meg is just like such a wonderful character for this age range, and the character development in this was wonderful. I just really didn't like the pacing of the plot, which again, I describe more in the review video, which I will leave linked down below for you guys. Next, I read Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. I actually finished this like 3 days ago. I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I love Neil Gaiman. For those of you who don't know, Neil Gaiman is one of my favorite authors. I pick up anything that he writes. I love him. I've met him in real life, and he is a brilliant person. The only thing with this for me was that the characters weren't as well developed as I wanted. Readers have different things that they really look for in a book. Some people want a book with like epic world building. This had that. Some people look for really good plot or really energetic plot, like different kind of plot, etc. This had that as well. That is why it got 4 out of 5 stars for me. Those two things were done extremely well in this book. I personally am a person who wants a book that has really good writing and really good character development. This book had really good writing, but it didn't have the character development that I really wanted. I really liked it, and I'd highly recommend it because the writing was so good and the world building was so good and the plot was so good, but the character development was just a little bit lackluster for me. I wanted to know more about Richard, and I wanted to know more about Dor, and I wanted to know more about the Marquis. I just wanted to know more. I really, really liked how it felt kind of like an adult Alice in Wonderland fairy tale-esque feel to it without being like too childish and without being too adult as well. And also the jokes were really funny. All of the villainous characters in this book were the comic relief characters, which I really, really like, and also is a thing that people normally do in stories built for children. So like you'll notice that when you watch a movie or you read a book or you see a TV show that's meant for children, the villains are normally the comic relief, and it's because it helps children kind of process the fact that the bad characters are bad, because it helps them kind of process it if they're also the funny characters. So I think it's great that Neil Gaiman made his villains the funny characters, because that's like a thing that people normally do in children's fiction, and this was kind of a ploy on an adult version of children's fiction. It was good. I liked it. For those of you who don't know, Neverwhere follows our main character, Richard, who's just like a very average guy living in London, and all of a sudden he finds like a bleeding girl on the side of the road, and he decides to take care of her, and after he does that, he becomes part of this like weird London below that exists like below his London, and he's never seen before, and now he's a part of that world. And these two crazy people are hunting that girl that he saved, and all of a sudden, like, his entire world is turned upside down. That's pretty much all of the plot I want to give you without spoiling anything. Okay, so that is it for what I have very recently read in physical book format. And now we're going to move on to the book that I am currently reading, and that is Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. This is the March You Choose pick. You guys voted and you wanted me to read this. I have been eyeing this for years, so I'm actually really excited to kind of be forced to finally pick it up. I love Haruki Murakami's writing. I love his surrealist writing. I love his storytelling. I'm so excited for this book. It follows our main character, Kafka, who on his 15th birthday decides to run away from home to a corner of a library to live there. From what I know about this book and what it says on the back without spoiling too much, apparently there are like talking cats and fish falling from the sky and people who leave their bodies to commit murder and or have sex, and it just sounds like it's going to be a really wild ride of a read, and I'm really, really excited for it. I just started it, but the writing is phenomenal right from the get-go, and I'm really excited about it. Okay, so that is what I have recently read and I'm currently reading. I will make sure to leave Goodreads links for all of these books down below for you guys. Also, if I have filmed a review video for the book, I will also leave that linked down below for you guys. Make sure to comment and let me know what you've been recently reading and what you are currently reading and loving. And other than that, I'll see you guys soon with another video. Happy reading.